Welcome to Ancient Conspiracies Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. What if we told you that our ancestors thousands of years ago were far more technologically advanced than we are today? That they were privy to a knowledge so profound, it would make our modern-day technological marvels seem like child's play. This isn't the premise for a science fiction novel, but a theory rooted in the ancient Indian Vedic texts. The Vedas are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, composed in Vedic Sanskrit around 1500 BCE. These texts contain hymns, incantations, rituals, and philosophical musings. But the Vedas also feature tales that seem to describe advanced technology, including aircraft and weaponry, which have led some to speculate about the presence of extraterrestrial knowledge in the ancient world. The Vimana is one such technological marvel. Described in the ancient Vedic texts, the Vimana is essentially an airborne chariot capable of traversing vast distances, even reaching other worlds. In the Mahabharata, one of the two major Sanskrit epics of ancient India, there are detailed descriptions of a Vimana being used in battle, discharging weapons of unimaginable destruction. The descriptions are so vivid and precise that they have led many to question if our ancestors had mastered aviation and sophisticated weaponry long before we did. And then there's the Brahmastra, a divine weapon mentioned in the Mahabharata and other Vedic texts. It's described as having the power to destroy the world, causing catastrophic damage comparable to modern nuclear weaponry. The texts detail the destructive consequences of its use, including environmental devastation and genetic mutations, images strikingly similar to the aftermath of a nuclear fallout. These ancient texts also mention the Vaimanika Shastra, or the science of aeronautics, a detailed manual for the operation of Vimanas. It offers descriptions of various types of Vimanas, their construction, the materials used, and even the clothing suitable for pilots. The text even suggests the use of a certain type of mercury compound as a possible fuel source. This level of technical detail has led many to question if these texts are indeed the result of human imagination or the product of a more advanced civilization imparting their knowledge to our ancestors. But the question remains, how did our ancestors, who supposedly lived in an age devoid of advanced technology, manage to imagine such intricate pieces of machinery and weaponry? Is it possible that they had access to an advanced knowledge source that has since been lost to us? Or is there a grain of truth in the theory of ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial beings that visited our planet and shared their advanced knowledge with our ancestors? These questions challenge our understanding of human history and technological progress. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the ancient Indian Vedic texts, we find ourselves on the cusp of a narrative that could potentially rewrite the annals of human civilization. Thousands of years ago, the Indian subcontinent was home to one of the most advanced civilizations in the world, known as the Indus Valley Civilization. Flourishing around 2500 BC, this civilization was known for its urban planning, baked brick houses, intricate drainage systems, water supply systems, and clusters of large non-residential buildings. Simultaneously, the civilization demonstrated a deep understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and metallurgy. The Indus script, though not fully deciphered, is indicative of a complex system of communication. Yet, amidst these advancements, there is no evidence of weapons, warfare, or significant social hierarchy, suggesting a peaceful society more focused on knowledge and progress than domination. This advanced civilization is known to have abruptly disappeared around 1900 BC, leaving behind only fragments of its rich cultural tapestry. The reasons for its mysterious decline are still debated among historians, with theories ranging from drastic climate change to seismic disasters. Parallel to the rise and fall of the Indus Valley Civilization, another remarkable phenomenon was taking shape: the composition of the Vedas. Oral traditions passed down through generations were being written down, capturing the cosmology, philosophy, and rituals of the time. These texts, some of the oldest in human history, provide a glimpse into the complex spiritual and intellectual landscape of ancient India. The Vedic period, broadly categorized into the early Vedic period, 1500 BC, 1000 BC, and the later Vedic period, 1000 BC, 600 BC, signified a shift from a largely pastoral society to one marked by increasing agricultural settlements and emergence of political structures. It was during this period that the concept of the Vimana and other advanced technologies began to find mention in the texts. The geography of the Indian subcontinent also played a significant role in shaping these narratives. With the mighty Himalayas to the north, vast plains in the heartland, dense forests, and a long coastline, this diverse landscape was home to various distinct cultures, each with its own set of beliefs and practices. It's plausible that the interaction between these cultures, coupled with their unique experiences, contributed to the creation of myths and legends, including the tales of Vimanas and other advanced technologies. The Indian subcontinent, with its rich cultural history, advanced ancient civilizations, and diverse geography, is a fertile ground for the proposition of ancient astronauts theory. The seemingly anachronistic technological knowledge present in the Vedic texts, against the backdrop of a society that was still in the Bronze Age, is a paradox that invites further exploration and analysis. Could it be that this advanced knowledge was imparted by visitors from the stars, as proponents of the ancient astronauts theory suggest? Or is it the result of an extraordinary human imagination, capable of visualizing technologies far ahead of their time? These questions continue to intrigue scholars, historians, and enthusiasts alike, offering tantalizing possibilities that could reshape our understanding of our past. Among the many texts of the Vedic period, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda are revered as the foundational scriptures of Hinduism, collectively known as the Vedas. These texts contain hymns, rituals, and philosophies that form the basis of ancient Indian culture. However, it is within the vast universe of the Hindu epics, more specifically the Mahabharata and the Ramayana and the Puranas, that the most compelling evidence for the ancient astronaut theory is found. In the Mahabharata, an epic narrative of the Kurukshetra war and the fates of the Kaurava and the Pandava princes, there is a detailed description of a weapon called the Brahmastra. The Brahmastra, when launched, allegedly produced an incandescent light brighter than 1,000 suns, causing destruction on a cataclysmic scale, reminiscent of a nuclear weapon. This has led some to speculate that such advanced warfare technology could only have been influenced or gifted by extraterrestrial beings. The Ramayana, another epic that tells the story of Prince Rama, his wife Sita, and his loyal devotee Hanuman, introduces the concept of the Vimana, or flying chariots. This text describes the Pushpaka Vimana, a divine flying chariot capable of traveling vast distances in a short span of time. The descriptions of these Vimanas bear an uncanny resemblance to modern-day descriptions of UFOs or other advanced aircraft. The Puranas, a set of texts that deal with ancient history, including legends and traditional lore, also offer fascinating insights. The Bhagavata Purana, for instance, describes the palace of King Kukudmi as hovering in the sky, akin to a spacecraft, and details King Kukudmi's journey to another planet to meet the creator, Brahma. Prominent proponents of the ancient astronaut theory who have studied these texts include Eric von Daniken, author of the book Chariots of the Gods, and David Childress, known for his work in the television series Ancient Aliens. Both have extensively explored and popularized the theory that ancient texts like the Vedas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana contain references to extraterrestrial visitations and advanced technology. The work of these individuals, along with the texts and myths themselves, has laid the foundation for the exploration of the ancient astronaut theory in the context of Indian Vedic literature. The depictions of advanced technology, seemingly anachronistic in the context of the historical period, have sparked intriguing debates among scholars and enthusiasts. These discussions have not only brought the theory into the limelight, but have also encouraged a re-evaluation of our understanding of ancient civilizations and their technological capabilities. While the enigma of the ancient astronaut theory in the context of Indian Vedic texts is captivating, it is the anomalies and the claims that challenge conventional history which truly kindle the fascination. Among these, certain elements seemingly defy the established historical narratives and demand a closer examination. One such instance is the depiction of the Vimanas, the flying vehicles described in the Vedic texts. These descriptions are strikingly similar to modern-day aircraft or even spacecraft, leading to questions about how such advanced technology could have been known to the ancient Indians. One type of Vimana mentioned in the Vedic literature, the Tripura Vimana, is said to have 3 stories and be able to fly in the air and move underwater, which remarkably mirrors the concept of modern amphibious vehicles. Similarly, the concept of the Divya Drishti, or divine vision, present in the Mahabharata is striking. This ability allowed the seer to witness events happening far away, reminiscent of today's live broadcasting or video conferencing technology. How could such a sophisticated concept have been imagined thousands of years ago without some form of advanced knowledge? Another fascinating element is the description of weapons of mass destruction, such as the Brahmastra, in these ancient texts. The Brahmastra, as described in the Mahabharata, was a single projectile charged with all the power in the universe, capable of causing destruction on an apocalyptic scale. Its deployment was followed by severe environmental and health impacts, including hair and nails falling out, which strikingly aligns with the effects of nuclear radiation. These descriptions pose a compelling question. Could the ancient Indians have had knowledge of nuclear technology? The Vedic texts also mention advanced medical procedures. The Rigveda, for instance, describes the Ashvins, twin Vedic gods, performing complex surgeries, including eye surgery and caesarean births. Sushruta, an ancient Indian surgeon, even compiled a detailed text on surgery, describing procedures that align with modern surgical techniques, further adding to the perplexity. The aforementioned instances question the linear progression of technology, as they suggest that advanced technology might have existed in an age considered primitive by conventional historical standards. These anomalies do more than just challenge our understanding of history. They open up the possibility that the ancients may have had contact with beings possessing far more advanced technology, possibly extraterrestrial. While these claims and anomalies have been met with skepticism by mainstream historians, who attribute them to the creative imagination of ancient poets and seers, they continue to enthrall those who entertain the possibility of ancient astronaut visitations. The ancient astronaut theory, thus, continues to provoke thought, encourage research, and fuel debates, all while challenging conventional historical narratives. While the ancient astronaut theory is certainly intriguing, it's important to evaluate it critically, using scientific scrutiny and alternative interpretations. One method of testing is through carbon dating, a process that can determine the age of artifacts or remains. Unfortunately, no physical evidence directly supporting the ancient astronaut theory, such as remnants of advanced technology or extraterrestrial DNA, has been discovered in archaeological excavations in India thus far. Without such physical evidence, this theory remains speculative and largely based on interpretations of ancient texts. This leads us to the domain of linguistics and hermeneutics, the study of interpretation. Here, the claims of advanced technology and extraterrestrial contact in the Vedic texts have been contested by scholars who argue these may be misinterpretations or exaggerations. They point out that the texts are highly metaphorical and symbolic, written in an archaic form of Sanskrit that can be complex and ambiguous. The texts, they argue, are religious and philosophical in nature, not historical or technological documents. For instance, the Vimanas mentioned in the texts are interpreted by mainstream scholars as mythological flying chariots or palaces of the gods, common in many ancient cultures, rather than as technologically advanced vehicles. The descriptions of advanced weaponry and medical procedures, too, are seen as metaphors or exaggerations rather than literal accounts. The architectural evidence, like the precise alignment of ancient Indian temples with celestial bodies or the complex urban planning of the Indus Valley civilization, is impressive and indicative of advanced knowledge. However, these can also be explained by the remarkable understanding of astronomy and mathematics in ancient India, rather than extraterrestrial influence. Symbolism, too, plays a critical role in interpreting these texts. Symbols like the swastika, found in many ancient cultures, have been proposed as evidence of a global extraterrestrial influence. However, the swastika's meaning and usage vary widely across cultures, suggesting it may have arisen independently rather than being introduced by a common extraterrestrial source. As such, while the ancient astronaut theory provides a fascinating perspective, it is not the only, nor the most widely accepted interpretation of the evidence from ancient Indian texts and archaeology. The theory's reliance on specific interpretations of texts and lack of direct physical evidence mean that it remains, for now, in the realm of speculation. Nonetheless, it continues to inspire research and debate, keeping our minds open to the mysteries of our past. Despite the allure of the ancient astronaut theory, it is met with considerable skepticism and pushback from mainstream academia. Institutions and scholars from around the globe challenge its validity, arguing that it is based on selective and subjective interpretations of ancient texts, overlooking the symbolic and metaphorical nature of these writings. One of the primary critics of the theory is Dr. Michael Witzel, a prominent scholar of Sanskrit and Indian studies at Harvard University. He argues that proponents of the ancient astronaut theory often misinterpret the Vedic texts, reading modern scientific concepts into archaic religious metaphors. Witzel warns against the dangers of such anachronistic readings, as they can distort our understanding of these rich and complex ancient cultures. Dr. Wendy Doniger, a professor of the history of religions at the University of Chicago, is another critic of the theory. She points out that the ancient Indian texts are deeply embedded in their cultural and historical contexts. To interpret them as literal descriptions of alien technology is to strip them of their cultural richness and reduce them to simplistic science fiction narratives. Many academic institutions are also wary of the ancient astronaut theory. For example, the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, the principal organization for archaeological studies in India, has repeatedly dismissed claims of extraterrestrial influence on ancient Indian civilizations. The ASI asserts that the remarkable achievements of ancient Indian civilizations can be attributed to human ingenuity and hard work, not alien intervention. The skepticism and pushback stem from the lack of concrete empirical evidence supporting the ancient astronaut theory. While the Vedic texts do contain intriguing descriptions that can be interpreted as references to advanced technology, these interpretations are not universally accepted. Without definitive physical evidence, the theory remains in the realm of speculation, a fascinating but controversial perspective on our past. However, this skepticism does not mean the theory should be entirely dismissed. New discoveries and interpretations are constantly reshaping our understanding of history. As such, the ancient astronaut theory, while not widely accepted, continues to provoke thought and spark debate. It challenges us to look beyond conventional interpretations and consider the possibility that our ancestors might have had encounters beyond our current comprehension. And so it goes, the debate over the legitimacy of these ancient astronaut theories. But their prominence in popular culture and the persistent fascination they incite invite us to delve deeper into the philosophical, religious, and metaphysical implications they bear. What do these theories suggest about our understanding of human origins, spirituality, divine narratives, and creation myths? The ancient astronaut theory, as it relates to Vedic texts, could be seen as a radical reinterpretation of human origins. It places humanity not as a singular phenomenon on Earth, but as part of a vast cosmic tapestry, potentially seeded, guided, or influenced by extraterrestrial beings. This idea shifts the locus of humanity's genesis from the terrestrial to the cosmic, suggesting a profound interconnectedness with the universe at large. In terms of spirituality, these theories might be viewed as a modern manifestation of ancient pantheistic beliefs, where divine entities inhabit and influence the natural world. In this context, the gods of the Vedic texts could be seen not as supernatural deities, but as advanced beings from other worlds interacting with humanity. This interpretation presents a form of spirituality that marries the ancient with the modern, the mystical with the technological. Divine narratives, too, might take on new dimensions under the lens of the ancient astronaut theory. The epic tales in the Vedas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana, traditionally viewed as metaphysical allegories, could be reinterpreted as historical accounts of extraterrestrial encounters. The miraculous feats and divine interventions that shape these narratives might be recast as technological advancements beyond the understanding of the ancients. Lastly, the theory calls into question traditional creation myths. If we accept the premise of extraterrestrial intervention, then the stories of the world's creation could be seen as accounts of terraforming or planetary engineering by advanced civilizations. This interpretation, while controversial, adds a fascinating new layer to our understanding of these ancient stories. But it is crucial to note that these implications hinge on the interpretation of these ancient texts as literal accounts of historical events, an interpretation that many scholars contest. The rich symbolism and metaphorical depth of these texts often defy literal translation, and their cultural and historical contexts cannot be ignored. The ancient astronaut theory, while speculative and controversial, undeniably stirs our imagination and challenges our preconceptions. It invites us to reconsider our place in the universe, our understanding of the divine, and the very nature of human existence. Whether or not we accept the theory, it serves as a compelling catalyst for dialogue and introspection, reminding us of the enduring mystery and wonder of our origins. In its modern incarnation, the ancient astronaut theory has found a fertile breeding ground in the media, particularly in film, literature, and the burgeoning frontier of digital platforms like YouTube and social media. These platforms have not just propagated the theory, but have also evolved it, adding new layers of interpretation and conjecture. One of the earliest and most influential depictions of ancient astronauts in popular culture can be found in the pages of science fiction. The seminal work of Erich von Däniken, Chariots of the Gods, published in 1968, argued that the technological marvels and divine encounters chronicled in ancient texts were the handiwork of advanced extraterrestrial visitors. This book not only popularized the ancient astronaut hypothesis, but also presented it as a plausible explanation for a plethora of historical anomalies and mysteries. The cinema, too, has been a potent vehicle for the propagation of this theory. Films like 2001, A Space Odyssey, and Stargate have brought the concept of ancient astronauts to a wider audience, weaving narratives around the idea of extraterrestrial beings guiding human evolution and civilization. They fictionalize the theory, certainly, but also provoke thought and discussion about the possibilities of our ancient past. In the age of the Internet, the theory has found a new home on digital platforms. YouTube channels and social media pages dedicated to exploring and promoting the ancient astronaut theory have amassed millions of followers, disseminating the theory to a global audience. These platforms have also become forums for debate and discussion, where enthusiasts and skeptics alike can engage in spirited discourse on the merits and shortcomings of the theory. Moreover, the ancient astronaut theory has found resonance in alternative communities, particularly those that champion counter-narratives to mainstream historical and scientific discourse. In these circles, the theory is often seen as a form of resistance against the hegemony of traditional academia, offering an alternative perspective on human history and evolution. At the same time, the theory's prominence in popular culture has led to its commercialization. From television series to merchandise, the ancient astronaut theory has become a profitable commodity in the entertainment industry. This commercialization, while expanding the reach of the theory, has also led to its simplification and sensationalism in some instances, potentially undermining its seriousness and credibility. Whether as a narrative trope in science fiction, a topic of discussion on digital platforms, or a symbol of alternative discourse, the ancient astronaut theory has undeniably left a mark on contemporary culture. Yet it remains a contentious topic, eliciting both fascination and skepticism in equal measure, reflecting our enduring curiosity about the mysteries of our past and the limitless possibilities of our universe. As intriguing as the ancient astronaut theory may be, it also harbors some extensions that can be perceived as more esoteric or fringe. These delve not just into the realm of extraterrestrial interaction with ancient civilizations, but also into the deeper, more arcane corridors of the unknown. These fringe theories often go beyond the scientific, pushing into the enigmatic territories of time manipulation, interdimensional beings, and hidden bloodlines. One such theory postulates that these ancient astronauts were not just visitors, but manipulators of time. The core idea here stems from the advanced technology that the extraterrestrials were believed to possess. Could these beings, equipped with far superior understanding of physical laws, have altered the course of time itself, perhaps to influence certain events in human history? While this theory may seem far-fetched, the descriptions of divine interventions in the Vedas could be interpreted as instances of time manipulation by these celestial beings. Then there are theories that veer into the realm of interdimensional beings. Some proponents argue that the ancient astronauts were not from distant galaxies, but from alternate dimensions. This extends from the understanding that our universe is multidimensional, an idea that has found support in modern string theory. In this context, the ancient astronauts could be entities capable of traversing these dimensions, interacting with our world in ways that would appear miraculous to primitive societies. The hidden bloodline theory is another intriguing tangent. This proposes that some humans carry the genetic legacy of these ancient astronauts, passed down through generations. This concept finds echoes in the tales of demigods in Indian mythology, individuals who were born of divine parents and possessed extraordinary abilities. Some theories even combine these ideas, suggesting that interdimensional beings manipulated time and interbred with humans, creating lineages of individuals possessing their unique characteristics. These theories, while outlandish, do serve a purpose. They stimulate our imagination, encouraging us to question and explore the boundaries of our knowledge and understanding. In conclusion, the fringe theories of the ancient astronaut concept, whether considered credible or not, continue to expand the scope of the discussion. They allow for the exploration of different dimensions of thought, extending beyond the conventional interpretation of historical events. They provoke questions, stir debates, and above all, keep the intrigue alive, reminding us that there is always more to learn, more to discover about our past, our universe, and ourselves. The exploration of ancient astronauts in Indian Vedic texts has undeniably stirred a sense of wonder and intrigue, and yet so much remains unexplained. This lingering mystery envelops us, drawing us deeper into the realm of speculation and conjecture. Unanswered questions abound. For instance, if these celestial beings truly visited our ancestors, why did they stop? Or perhaps they never did. Could it be that their methods of interaction have evolved, becoming too subtle or sophisticated for us to perceive? Or are they simply observing, waiting for the right moment to intervene or make contact again? Furthermore, if these entities did influence our ancient civilizations, what were their motives? Were they benevolent teachers, imparting knowledge to help humanity progress? Or were they manipulators, steering the course of our history for reasons we cannot fathom? The Vedas do not provide clear-cut answers, leaving us to grapple with these uncertainties. The implications of these theories are enormous. If there is truth in the ancient astronaut concept, it could fundamentally alter our understanding of the universe, our history, and our place within the cosmos. It raises the possibility that we are not alone, that we have been part of a larger cosmic narrative all along. Additionally, it could herald a paradigm shift in our scientific and philosophical perspectives. It could provide new lenses through which to view quantum physics, evolutionary biology, and even spirituality. Our very concept of divinity could be redefined, opening up new avenues of thought and exploration. However, it's essential to remember that these are speculative theories, fascinating as they may be. They push us to question, to think, to imagine, but they do not constitute evidence or proof. The Vedas are open to interpretation, and while the ancient astronaut theory is one interpretation, it is not the only one. Yet the lure of the unknown is too potent to ignore. These theories, unproven as they may be, keep us engaged, keep us questioning, and keep us seeking. They remind us that our quest for knowledge is far from over, that we have barely scratched the surface of understanding our universe and our past. As we delve into the mysteries of the Vedas and the ancient astronaut theory, we venture into the unknown, filled with a sense of wonder and awe. We are left with more questions than answers, and perhaps that is the true beauty of it. It is a journey of discovery, a journey where the quest for truth is as enriching as the truth itself. In the end, whether we find concrete answers or not, the pursuit of this enigmatic theory opens our minds to infinite possibilities. It challenges our perceptions and nudges us to look beyond the obvious, to seek the extraordinary within the ordinary, and to keep exploring the uncharted territories of knowledge and understanding wherever they may lead us. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Ancient Conspiracies Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to Ancient Conspiracies Podcast on Patreon. Subscribe now.